Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Noreen Turin.
And I'm Pat Simon. We're learning more tonight about why Lynchburg's Amazement Square canceled their Chalk Festival this year. We told you last night that it was because of changes to the 2026 budget from City Council.
But tonight we found out that is not true. ABC 13's Hayden Robertson joins us live from Amazement Square to explain why the city updated their street closure guidelines. Hayden.
Pat, Noreen, those guidelines the city updated happened just last year, involving street closure for certain events. If an event does need street closures, whoever holds that event would need to pay city staff to set up and tear down special barricades to keep people safe. However, Amazement Square tells me they feel like they shouldn't have to foot the bill for those barricades.
11 years ago, Amazement Square CEO Mort Sajadian and staff came up with the idea for the Riverfront Chalk Festival. However, the Children's Museum canceled their event this year, all over a permit dispute involving barricades.
Very safe. We think that's a great idea, but at the same time, the cost of this barricade was something that we really didn't know about, exactly how much it would be and what for what reason and what purpose.
In 2024, Lynchburg police purchased these barricades. They're called Mobile Vehicle Barriers, or MVBs. The city tells me they are designed to stop cars from plowing through an event that takes place on a road. On top of budgeting over $8,500 for the free event, Amazement Square would have had to pay for the MVBs.
Somewhere between $650 and $700.
According to the city's sample estimate, just to install the barriers, it's going to cost $640 for 2 public works staff to install them. After that, if they need police, fire, or EMS on standby, the cost would go up. However, this policy is different for protests. People who gather in the city to express their First Amendment rights file that paperwork with LPD, and those barriers are provided to keep people safe.
I checked in with the city to learn more about the barriers and the cost.
LPD invested in this about a year ago, and we've been using them for every street closure since. That use of MVBs has increased the time that it takes for our public works staff to set up the barricades, be with them during the event, and then break them down.
Either way, Sajadian feels since his event gives back to the community, the city should help out.
When an organization, a private nonprofit organization like Amazement Square is doing something free for its community, we feel this is a great opportunity of, public and private organizations coming together to do something for its community.
Is there a way that could be breached? Is there a way for conversation to happen around that?
Sure. Well, we are certainly always open to working with event organizers. We have a really robust process. We have special event guidelines that lay out the process very clearly, and we're open to communication about locations or spaces or changes we can make to make this easier to access. We want to remove any barriers that we can to folks holding great events.
Now, Sajadian says that because of those extra costs that are incurred from having to set up those barricades, he's potentially looking at elsewhere to host certain events that Amazement Square puts on for the community. Now, I did learn that it was FEMA that awarded Lynchburg police over $122,000 for them to be able to pay for those barricades for city use. Reporting live in Lynchburg tonight, Hayden Robertson, ABC 13 News.